Are you trying to find a home under $400,000 in the Birmingham area? Welcome back to the channel. If you're searching for a home under $400,000 in Birmingham, Alabama, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into the best areas where you'll find the most options at that price point. Whether you're a first-time buyer, looking to upgrade, or simply looking to stay on a budget, I've got 5 great spots to share with you. I've already covered areas where you can find homes under $250,000 in a previous video, so check that video out for even more options. Keep in mind, there are other areas where you might find homes in this range, but I'm focusing on the places where you can find the most choices under $400,000. I've also combined a few nearby cities to give you a better overall picture. As always, if you have questions about specific areas, feel free to reach out. My calendar link is below with my cell phone and email. Now, let's get started. As I said in the introduction, there's a lot of places in Birmingham and the surrounding area where you can find something under $400,000. I'm going off of the areas that you can find the most houses for that price. And then first one I want to mention is Irondale. And so you see kind of Irondale right here. So Irondale has a mix of houses. There are houses from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And so you get kind of the craftsman cottage style houses that you would see in other parts of the town, like Homewood or areas like that. And a lot of those houses are in this little nook right here. So a little area right here below East Lake. You'll see a lot of older houses, and then a lot of the older houses are going to be kind of right here as well. You're also going to have a mix of those with houses built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And so with those, you get the split levels. There's a lot of split levels in Irondale. The ranch style houses, kind of those style houses, you're going to find a lot of those houses. And then there's a mix of new build houses. Kind of closer to I-20, you'll see some new build houses built in the last 10 years, last 5 years. There's a good mix of those as well. So that's kind of what you see. For the most part, they're going to be smaller lots, 0.3, 0.4 acres. The farther you go out into areas out here, you could start to be able to see some houses with a little bit more acreage or the possibility of having bigger lots. So this is kind of the style that you're going to see, listed for $244,000, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,300 square feet. This is kind of the style you're going to see a lot out there. Like I said, there are a lot of split levels in Irondale. This is another one. Again, kind of the style, especially at that price point. Again, this is kind of the style at that price point that you're going to see. The new builds are going to be, most of them are going to be above that $400,000, but at that price point, this is kind of what you're going to see. And again, 2 acres, and you can see where we are. We're kind of farther out, like I was saying. You know, like I said, ranch style houses, again, kind of at that price point, like I was saying. This is kind of the style that you're going to see. One other thing to mention about Irondale, I'm reading my kind of stats. For all of April, for the whole price range, median days on market was 21 days. Median sale price was $305,500. So kind of right at that price point. Like I said, there are going to be houses in this area that are more expensive, above that $400,000. But for this particular thing, this is kind of what you'll see. Okay, next area I wanted to mention is one of my favorites, and that's the Crestwood area, Forest Park, and then Avondale area. They're kind of all in there together, and they kind of run all together. These are some of the older parts of town. For the most part, Forest Park is going to be above that $400,000. Every once in a while you see one, but I'm kind of mixing it in there as well. But Avondale, which is right here where Shaw's Kitchen is, Crestwood North, Crestwood South. These are some of my favorite places in Birmingham. They have some of the prettiest houses. Majority of the houses, so especially like Crestwood North, most of the houses are going to be 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So a lot of craftsman houses, a lot of cottages are going to be here. Crestwood South, you get to a lot of the more mid-century modern houses. A lot of the houses built in that 50s, 60s, 70s are going to be right here. So with that, you get a lot of ranch style houses, a lot of mid-century modern houses. Forest Park, Avondale, it's going to be the same thing. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s houses for the most part. Every once in a while you see houses that are built later, but for the most part, those are the areas. Very hip, very young professional area. A lot of the great restaurants and bars and all of that kind of stuff are in this area. And so it's a really popular area to live because, again, you're just minutes to downtown, you know, just minutes to downtown. So it's a really popular area. This is Crestwood. So with this is kind of the style that you're going to get. A lot of these kind of houses, 369,000, 3-bed, 2-bath. Such pretty houses. Again, if you watch any of my videos, you know how much I love old houses. So you know that these are the kind of things I'm going to go to. Built in 1935. This is technically Forest Park, but again, Forest Park, Crestwood, they kind of run in right into each other. But again, built in 1930. So this is kind of the style you're going to get. If that older style is what you're looking for, this is the perfect place for that. And this is Crestwood South. So again, with that, you're going to get these style of houses built in 1959, a little bit more ranch style, mid-century modern house. Again, this is just, like I said, 1951. Most of the houses over here are going to be that age of house, but it's such a cool area. All the houses are really, really cool, pretty houses. Again, if that's important to you, being close to downtown, being close to restaurants, bars, being in some of the older subdivisions, this is a great area. This is a great area. My wife's and I's first apartment was in Forest Park, right there beside Crestwood, Avondale, kind of where they all meet. Such a cool little area. Next area I would like to mention is Pleasant Grove. This is a really popular area. It's a great, great area. Like I said, we're kind of just a little bit west of downtown Birmingham, down I-20, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how far you go. I mean, obviously, the farther you go into Pleasant Grove, the farther out. But it's a great area. It's a safe area. It's a really, really popular area for that under 400 price point. I would say average sales are going to be a little bit closer to that 300, 250 range. So if that's the price point you're looking at, this is a great area for that as well. These are kind of the style houses, again, will be in that 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So again, ranch, mid-century modern kind of houses are a lot of the houses out here. There are some newer houses, but they'll be above that price point. So under 400,000, this is kind of what we're going to see out there. On 0.6 acres, built 1987. Looks like it's been updated a little bit since then. This one's on 0.9 acres, listed for 375, 6-bedroom, 4-bath. You will find bigger houses out here. Of all the areas I'm going to mention, this is probably the area that you can find the biggest house at this price point. So again, 4,700 square feet for 375. If this house was closer in like Hoover, Vestavia, this would be close to $1 million house. So if having a big house, a lot of space, if you have a lot of kids, Pleasant Grove is a great area to look. This is another one, 267. It's over 3,000 square feet total on 0.7 acres. It's pretty good. Again, if finding a house, a big house with a lot of square footage, a lot of bedrooms is important under that 400,000, I would say Pleasant Grove is a great area for that. Next area I would like to mention is 𝐂𝐿𝐒. So we are west of Birmingham, probably 30-ish minutes, depending on which direction you need to go. If you need to go I-20 or 459, kind of we're really where they meet. So 𝐂𝐿𝐒 school system stretches into Bessemer some. I would say it probably goes to about right here. So if you're looking for a house in 𝐂𝐿𝐒 schools, you actually can go a little farther in. Again, I would say probably in this area. But anyway, 𝐂𝐿𝐒 is out here. There's a lot of new build houses out here. If finding a new build is important, 𝐂𝐿𝐒 would be a great area to look. Like I said, you're about 30-ish minutes from downtown Birmingham. Again, it just depends on which direction you need to go. But about 30 minutes, like I said. There's been a lot of houses built in those early 2000s out here, 90s houses. A lot of that, most of the houses out here are going to be fairly new in the last 30 or 40 years. This one, 250, 1,500 square feet, on a smaller lot, built in 2002. Kind of that garden home. Yeah, built in 1996, 0.6 acres, 350. This looks like it's been updated some. This is kind of, you'll see, you have really two versions. You'll have houses that are a little bit farther out, bigger lots, a little bit more country feel, or you'll have new build neighborhoods. Those are kind of the two main things that you'll see in McCalla. Like I said, there are a lot of new build neighborhoods out here. This one's 2025, 338, 2,000 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath for 338. It's pretty good. Here's another one, 2019, 334, 900, 2,600 square feet, 5-bed, 2.5-bath, another smaller lot because this is a newer neighborhood. This is kind of the style that you're going to see. Like I said, you either have two options. It'll be a newer neighborhood, or it'll be an older house and a bigger lot, a little bit more rural. These are kind of the main things that you'll see. Okay, last but definitely not least, we are going to Shelby County now. So the first four were in Jefferson County. These are going to be in Shelby County. Overall, under 400,000, these parts of Shelby County are going to be the biggest bang for your buck. You'll be able to find the most houses in these three areas I'm getting ready to mention. Also, an important thing to note, Shelby County, their property taxes are a lot cheaper than Jefferson County. So overall, Shelby County is it's a cheaper area to live. Property taxes are less. Home prices are less. So if that's really important, this is definitely an area to look. Now, with that, obviously, if traveling in the downtown is what you'll have to do, just know that it's going to take you a while. 65, which is the road that we're going to kind of talk about, kind of how cities around that, does get jam-packed, especially coming home that about 3:30, 4 o'clock time till 5:30-ish. It can get pretty crowded, and it can take you a little while to get home. So just know that there is a trade-off, but if price point and not having to travel into town is that important, these are good areas. So we're going to talk about Helena, Pelham, and Alabaster, and I'm combining them all because they're all kind of right here, and they really kind of run into each other. Alabaster has, because this is Alabama, and we're going to talk about that, has the best football team in the state for the last, 5 or 10 years. And with that, they've got a lot of money coming in for the football program, the school. They just built a new school. It's really, really nice. It's a really good area. Helena is a super, super popular area. It's a really cool city. And then Pelham. A lot of these houses, similar to McCalla, you're going to either have houses built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of split levels, ranch-style houses, mid-century modern kind of houses, or you're going to have newer houses. That's really the main things that you're going to see out there is the houses built in the last 10 years, or they're going to be 60s, 70s, 80s, split levels, ranch style houses. This is a very typical Alabaster house. This is a split level, listed for $259,900, 3-bed, 2-bath, total 1,800 square feet on a 0.4 acre lot. This is a very typical Alabaster house. There's a lot of these kind of houses out there. Now, obviously, this one needs some updating, but the layout of the house, for example, is kind of the style of house you'll see. Split level. Helena, you'll see a lot of these houses built in the 90s or sooner. 269, 1,400 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath. Just a nice little home. This is a really good little starter home. Not a huge lot, but you could see the backyard is fairly big. I mean, obviously you're not going to a huge lot at this price point, but that's a pretty good lot. Another Helena, 350, 1,300 square feet total, 4-bed, 2-bath, 0.3 acres. Again, another split level. Like I said, there's a lot of split levels out in these areas of town. 264, 1,500 square feet, 3.2, built in 2003. 0.1 acre. Again, another split level, Alabaster. Like I said, there's a lot of split levels in this area, especially at this price point. But all three of these are really good areas to be. If you have any questions about any of the areas I mentioned, you can shoot me a DM. Schedule is below. Obviously, like I said, there's different areas of town that you can also find houses under 400 that I didn't mention, just because if I did, this video would be way too long. So if there's any areas that I didn't mention and you have questions about, reach out to me. Love to help. If you need any professional help buying or selling, my number and all my contact is below. See you in the next one.